SKT on red. We'll see if that's going to change things around here. The draft, of course, from SKT, as we discussed last time, a little bit interesting when they were on red side. We'll see if they still want to ban away the Zed, but no surprise there. Fiora is going to be the first ban from Afreeca.
Which of the pocket picks will SKT have room to ban on red side? On blue side, you can ban away pocket picks, but on red side, you have to ban the OPs. Otherwise, there could potentially be something really juicy going over to the side of Afreeca. They banned away Kog'Maw, which is pretty close to a must-ban champion, but has actually fallen through the draft multiple times so far in 6.4.
Yep, and we saw it, before, but now Bard and Corki going to be taken away. The question is, do SKT take out the Nidalee? They did not do that in the first draft. It went through to Lyra, and he had a pretty strong game on it. So I'd be surprised if they let it go through.
Well, SKT got really greedy and banned Zed on red side with their first ban, and then effectively had to give through Nidalee. Yeah. I think when you're on the red side, when you have the world's best mid laner in the history of League of Legends, and you have 5th pick, I think you leave open Zed, and if Mickey wants to blind pick it, you deal with it.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. It's going to be Braum taken away here from Wolf. Afreeca have banned Lissandra in every single game so far. Makes it through the draft. Could be something that they want to consider picking up.
Varus also available.
That's very true. That was banned out in that last game. So there's a couple picks here that Afreeca has to really consider, whether or not they want to go for it first to give SKT an opportunity to snatch it up.
Don't mind the Gragas first pick. Once again, Kendra's the only champion that really duels with Gragas well, and isn't available. It was Lyra who played fine on the Graves, but certainly doesn't have the same pressure. And Blank's played 2 games of Gragas in a row, so why not get him away from that comfort champion?
Does make sense. Kallista's another one that actually made it through. We saw it in the second game, and Songyun played pretty well, but I'm not sure if he wants to go for it again in this one.
If you see 2 support bans, and specifically they've banned away 2 supports that deal really well with poke, Gragas and Varus would be an amazing next round of the draft, but there's no way SKT will leave both those champions available.
Yeah. You can see Kallista will be the first pick here for Songyun. And now SKT playing around with this Trundle and this Gragas. Trundle, of course, could be a bit of a flex. Wolf knows how to play that one in the support role, and Duke probably would be able to play that one on the top side.
They were heavily considered picking Kindred into Gragas last game, but eventually got away from it to the Graves, which was one of his best picks when these 2 teams met a few weeks ago. We've gone a couple of patches since then. Graves since some changes, and obviously Gragas is well on top of the meta, so interested to see which jungle pick they go with. Will SKT show any of their solo lanes and give Mickey the chance to open up a Zed pick that he's desperate to pull out?
We did see Snowflower play this Morgana in the first game. He's getting bullied out in lane initially, but by the end of it had a really strong performance, and it will be locked in yet again. So Morgana, Kallista for our bot lane duo. Makes for a pretty good Fate's Call once that Zhonya's Hourglass comes up.
Absolutely, and the Black Shield might be useful in a 2v2 onto the Kindred to keep someone into the Lamb's Respite, but certainly won't be enough for the whole team. Expecting SKT to keep picking power, but Faker's mid lane champion is the one that's going to be the most exciting to track. We haven't seen a top laner locked away, and finally Duke's actually going to steal away Poppy with Fiora on the ban list.
We do have Nautilus available if Afreeca want to pick that one up. We saw Duke play it in game 1.
Outside chance that we see the Poppy flex to support in that particular situation.
Quite possibly.
But Trundle, of course, will still be a teamfight answer to the Nautilus, so maybe not necessary. Ixu playing Gangplank. He's done it once before this season. It is 6.4 Gangplank, it's in those nerfs. Hasn't been enough to take him out of the meta.
This just makes too much sense, though, with the Nautilus available.
So what's the mid laner with it, though, is my question. They're low on magic damage with double AD carry already.
Well, it looks like they might just completely ignore magic damage altogether and go for the Varus.
Varus does a little bit of mixed damage, and obviously on 6.4 the base damages for Nautilus is still respectable. But magic damage is what they were looking for. Wow, they really pivot a long way from what they were considering.
I don't know how I like this. There's not much of a tanky frontline whatsoever from Afreeca.
Nope, no beef whatsoever.
That is absolutely terrifying.
Had Poppy as the sole frontman for their poke comp in Game 1. Still elements of a poke comp in Game 2, but feels like this comp doesn't really do anything well. They have the Gangplank, maybe he can split push, but it is a matchup that Gangplank seems to do pretty well against Poppy early, especially. I feel like that'll be just fine, but the 4-man group that's left in the 4-1 scenario is just so weak. Gragas gets the 1 barrel, Trundle gets the pillar, the engage starts, and Afreeca will just be cut down where they stand. So very, very squishy comp, and Lulu makes a lot of sense. Just close that distance onto the Lux and then take her out.
Now, you want to kill one of my teammates? No, you're not allowed. Also, now you're a squirrel.
Well, that was actually relevant in the last fight. So
Very relevant.
usually it's just Whimsy on a carry, but Polymorph for the CC actually was a factor, and it is going to be 3 games in a row for the Lulu. And there's poke comps and there's this comp, which is 4 poke champions and a late game carry, I guess. I don't know, Afreeca. I feel you've gone too far in the madness with this particular draft.
Yeah, I do not, for what my opinion is worth, I do not like this draft whatsoever from Afreeca. I feel like you need to win so early on.
But just run down the lineup.
Like, even try to work.
Gangplank, decent team fighter, decent in the matchup, actually pretty good in the matchup against Poppy. Kindred's great at kiting back. Lux is great at kiting back. Lux has great siege, but Kallista's not really a siege champion. You throw Morgana and she's going to instantly die. It's difficult to see how 4-1 works, how 5-man grouping works, and SKT, now with the Lulu and the teleport fangs, the double teleport advantage as well. I really worry for Afreeca because if they lose one fight, I feel they're going to lose every fight after that.
Oh, absolutely. And if we have an early game like we did in that last one, I don't know if Afreeca is going to be able to turn that first blood around.
Well, they don't have the luxury of letting Gangplank out to dry. This guy has the most expensive item build in the game, so they have to make sure they don't have another scenario where Ixu's just a watcher and Duke gets solo farm.
All right, well, questionable draft here for Afreeca going up against SKT. Now 1-1, final game coming up as we get onto the Rift.
Everybody wants to rule the world. There's a room where the light won't find you. Holding hands while
The game continues indeed. Afreeca Freecs and SKT onto the Rift with our fancy camera work coming out here right out the gates.
SKTT1 fans finding a lot more voice after winning that game too.
Yeah, pretty disheartened after that first one. Now willing to speak up and say, you know what, I am an SKT fan.
They're sitting on the SKT side of the booth, and in general, the studio is full tonight. It's Friday night here in Korea, Yongsan. No surprise with the world champions playing. There's plenty of interest in this series, and we're going to a third game, which already is giving us so much joy.
Yep. You can see, though, no one really making any kind of ballsy play like we saw earlier on, which cost SKT that first blood. So just going to be typical spread across the map. Looks like we are going to get standard lanes unless they decide to do a really late roam up, but should have Bang Wolf versus Songyun and Snowflower in that bot side.
Minions spawning already. That's definitely going to look like standard lanes as far as we can see. But starting at a camp makes sense. In this world where you can't get deep vision down, you're still an element of surprise about where the lanes end up. So it's when the duo lane meets that we'll finally see the top laners enter top.
Yep. So it's just going to be the Gromp start here for Lyra and the Krugs respectively for Blank. So they're going to have a mirrored start as they come from that top side of the map down into the bottom side of the jungle.
That's why you don't even have to wait to see that. Because no one's there to pick up the minion wave, you know that lane swap hasn't been initiated, so you can enter top. Full knowledge is, wow, Bang & Wolf, already level 2.
Oh yeah, taking a lot of damage here. That's already the flash away from Songyun. Really good stuff. Exhaust used by Wolf, but not nearly as valuable as Songyun's Summoner spell. Good stuff by SKT, trying to make those aggressive plays and get that early lead. Songyun just now hitting level 2.
Lucian better at pushing the wave. If he reaches it first, could just Q. Passive takes it down. Snowflower's low.
Yeah, Wolf is going really aggressive here. Might actually be able to get a kill on the Snowflower. No Ignite, really. The binding does come through, however. If he had Ignite, that almost certainly would have been a dead Morgana.
If he had Ignite, Sungin probably wouldn't have to flash at level 1, because it was the aggressive exhaust coming down. But Snowflower now has to use all his potions. So significant sustain advantage for SKT.
Yeah, they just have complete control of this wave right now in this lane in the bot side, just trying to keep Sungin and Snowflower as far off as possible. Looks like Snowflower's trying to get a binding, but I don't know what kind of follow-up you'd really be able to offer onto it.
It does allow for a free trade most of the time. You get a couple of autos and a Ren stack in, so just looking for poke, adding questions to the mind of Bang & Wolf. Lulu Luxmid, pick that hasn't seen that much success in champions. It was good at the start of the season. Fly especially was looking great on the champion, but since then we've seen champions like Gragas and other CC top laners walk in, ult the Lux, push her out from the back line, and she dies instantly. That's always the reality of the champion.
Yep. You can see Lyra taking away that Scuttle Crab just before Blank can arrive. So they're basically going to spot each other out. So both junglers keeping track of each other. So far, Ixu, as expected, is having an easier time in this lane, able to poke out that melee Poppy, using the parlay, using that true damage that he gets off of those auto attacks, as well as the barrels. So we'll see if Blank can turn that lane around here for Duke.
The thing about the Poppy gangplank lane is you do lose out on a lot of trades, just with the range advantage you have, both with the barrels and the parlay, but it's such a great lane to gank for. Poppy's one of the joys to gank for, has 2 different ways to CC, has an uncleansable CC that the oranges won't be effective against, and once Blank hits 6, it's going to just bounce him away. There'll be enough space in the lane, and from there you'll be able to pick up the kill. So a lot of kill pressure for SKT in top.
Yep. So far, Snowflower and Songyin just trying to get to this wave, but Wolf hovering around in this brush.
Wolf's playing so smart. So what he's doing is he's standing on the corner of the wave, just because with the Q he's able to instant kill a ward. So if he just stands and ensures that he gets that first hit onto a ward, he'll be able to clear it instantly and just build up the pressure advantage they already have in bot.
Yeah. See though, as these waves continue to crash, Songyun can pretty easily pick up the CS, as he does have those Rens to last hit these minions pretty effectively. Still down by about, let's see, it's going to be about 8 CS at the end of this.
It's a reality of the ping of level 2. It does turn laning phases. Laning phases can be won and lost, how you play around the level 2 power spike.
Yeah, it's about the same lead for Faker right now, but he is recalling. It looks like Mickey might have gotten back in time to, yeah, he's going to get the majority of that CS. So 4 now separating them, so not nearly as bad. Ixu going to catch this wave and extend his lead against Duke, as it looks like he's going to go ahead and make his first recall.
Not massive, of course. He will have control of the minion wave, though, so that's something.
Yeah. Ixu is going to be getting very slightly increased passive lead, though, because of that parlay. Significantly nerfed on 6.4, however, as we've touched on in the past. But we can see that is teleport there for Duke. Faker still has his, so 1-1 on teleports. So if a fight breaks out around that bottom side of the map, SKT and Afreeca Freecs can both pretty equally respond.
Blank, really aggressive path. It hasn't been spotted.
Yeah, get some wards over the wall. Looks like he's going to be able to steal away this Gromp. Meanwhile, Lyra takes the Raptors, so just collecting those marks as much as he possibly can. Yeah, Ixu quite low. It's stunned into the wall. Cannon Barrage going to be clearing out the wave. Duke taking this one up. Flash body slam by Blank, and that's going to be first blood. Not much more you can say about that one. Lyra coming around the sidelines is level 6, jumps on the Duke, and there's the laser from downtown. Mickey finds the kill. Lyra flashing over the barrel, should be able to finish off Blank, and he does. And just like that, Afreeca pick up 2 kills of their own.
Yeah, I thought Lyra was completely out of position, but collapsed at the right time, and Mickey throwing the Hail Mary with the ult really made the difference.
Yeah, really good stuff by Mickey, roaming up just far enough that he can get that final spark to hit. Finds himself that kill, and that's going to be pretty good for him to duel against Faker in this mid lane as he backs and gets more items. We can see he's got the Chalice actually coming through.
And if I am not mistaken, we're seeing a very cheeky overstay in top by Ixu. He hasn't been spotted. He's been in that brush ever since. And now he's going to look for another wraparound gank. Level 6 now is Ixu.
Yeah, we can see this replay here. Ixu going down, just sticking around a little too much. Maybe the Cannon Barrage on top of the tower might have been able to slow him up, but the Flash Body Slam by Blank, really solidifying that one.
He just wasn't expecting
Yeah.
a tower dive. He was just looking to clear the wave and go back, but this was just a nice collapse. Good roam up by Mickey. Don't usually talk about Lux roams, but if you can just throw your ult, if it's after a turret dive and relevant, you pick up the kill. We're waiting to see if Lyra and
He's already used the dash. Ixu going to try to lay down as much damage as possible, but just like that, Lyra gets booted out of the fight over the wall. Nice ultimate by Duke, and he's going to be able to hold on to that flash as well.
Yeah, that was really nice from Duke. Keeper's verdict tonight. Been very good from both players, actually.
Yep. So good stuff. Gold completely even right now. We can see Wolf playing really deep into the enemy jungle, however, getting as much vision as possible. Mickey just going to throw out that ultimate to try and get the clear.
Oh
but
boy,
look at
here
this.
we go.
Yeah, this is going to be the dive. No level 6 here for Songyun, so cannot use the Fade's call. Question is, who's going to initiate this dive? Looks like it's going to be Wolf, taking a bit of damage. Bang on the other side. This is the explosive cask. Songyun goes down. They do get a kill for their troubles.
Oh boy.
And Blank quite low. They cancel the teleport, however. Can't tell if Ixu canceled that or if Duke interrupted it.
Now, with the turret shots, I have to think that Duke was the one that got the heroic charge to counter. So nice play from Duke. We'll probably get a replay to confirm that.
I think, yeah, it looks like it was interrupted. So good on Duke. And a decent dive in the bot side. Wolf does fall, however, so not completely clean. Little iffy on the start to get in there, but once Wolf sacked himself, they were able to pick up those 2 kills.
But the timing was definitely great from SKT. They saw Mickey use both E and R to clear out a wave and instantly fake a teleported bot, knowing that even damage would not be able to be provided from Mickey. He doesn't have a teleport of himself, so there's no way for him to respond to what happened in bot lane. They pick up the 2 for 1, but as you mentioned, could have been cleaner.
Yeah. But even so, 500 gold lead here for SKTelecom. Dragon not become a point of contention yet. We saw it about 9 minutes, 10 minutes in that second game. But no one really going for that one quite just yet. Mickey, yet again, just using the final spark, trying to clear out this wave as quickly as possible. Spooky Ghost comes through. Faker is going to be able to layer out a lot of damage and send Mickey packing back towards the base. But I think he's going to be all right with that. Cleared out that wave. Because you know what? I have enough gold in my pocket. I'm going to go back and buy anyway.
Songyun and Snowflower so far behind CS. Bang is almost doubling them. We saw the early trade. The level 2 is what started this. But since then, teleport mid from Faker. In general, lane pressure. We saw Wolf camping the brush and showing they couldn't even put vision into the closest brush. And forced into a cull purchase when this far behind. Troubling times for Afreeca.
Yeah, not a good look here for Songyun on the Callisto, who had a much better game in that last one. You can see SKT, though, do start up this Dragon here at 10.5 minutes. We'll be able to take this. Lyra is nearby, throws that ward over the wall. Does he want to go for this? Just in, he actually seals it with the auto attack. Can he get out alive? Flash not yet available, throws down the Lambs for Spite. Wolf coming around the sidelines. He's going to go down, but a nice steal coming out from Lyra.
Kill for a Dragon. Hard to say whether it's worth it, especially for first Dragon.
Yeah, this early on in the game. I mean, the stats not going to do a whole lot, but if they can pick up the second Dragon and keep that ball rolling, it will have been worth it, but we won't know for quite some time.
I mean, the lane pressure was not there. There was no world where Afreeca pick up the Dragon unless he went for that steal. So, see what they make of it.
Yep.
Kept his flash as well. Could have flashed over, but almost certainly would have died anyway. So
It just came up as he dropped the Lambs for Spite, and by that point, he was really not in a position to use that. But like you said, Wolf was on the backside of that pit, so more than likely would have gone down had he flashed, but they had the vision control back there. They knew where Wolf was, so I think he was just saying, you know what, I'm going to hold on to it.
such a pleasure to watch Faker play Lulu in the laning phase especially. Every time, now that it's obvious that Mickey's throwing out his E and R off cooldown to clear waves, he just whimsies ahead, navigates around it, and still gets a really nice trade of damage as the cast animation is coming through from the final spark. So poking out Mickey is always more and more relevant when Mickey doesn't have teleport.
Yep. See now with Mickey backed, should be able to get this cannon creep and the rest of this wave in time, but a good amount of damage coming through. Flash body slam onto Lyra, though. No Lambs for Spite is available. Faker coming around the other side. Can he get some backup from Mickey? He's trying to kite to the top side of the map, but Duke would be there as well.
Nicely done.
Lyra just roaming around. He misses the dash into the Baron pit. He's going to go down. Can Faker get an assist? Looks like he will. It's going to be the Wild Growth coming in just for the hell of it.
Can't juke that.
The kill. Yeah. Poor Lyra just looks like he's choking a little bit there, not able to make it over the wall. Rough stuff here. Cannon Barrage gets used on this top side. Looks like we could have a 3-man dive onto Ixu. who's all on his lonesome. No way to TP out of this. Blank goes in. Nice flash here, though. They still get stunned into the wall, and he is going to go down. Duke going to be able to take that kill. And SKT looking quite dominant in the early stages of this game.
They're just punishing the weak lanes. Remember, it's Lux in mid, immobile, can be dived. Gangplank in top, very low base HB can be dived, and they were winning the 2v2 and bot from level 2. So multiple losing lanes against Lulu, against the Gragas. And this time Blank is playing assertively. This is the Blank we saw at IEM who can make the early moves. Much, much better stuff from SKT, and there's a reason we didn't like this draft. It's so brittle. You could see Afreeca really wanted to play Varus mid, who can have lane pressure on the Lulu without having to pop ultimate, but then they would have had purely physical damage comp. Were forced into the Lux. They were looking for like, but the downsides of the Lux are definitely on display.
Yeah. I just don't know how I feel about this Gangplank so far from Ixu. 0-2-2 is participating in 2 of the 3 kills that Afreeca have gotten due to that cannon barrage, but still no tanky frontline for this team. And you just have to wonder, you know, what made them go for the Gangplank when the Nautilus was so readily available?
It's a fair question. The laning phase, I guess, you could say that Gangplank has an advantage in laning phase over Poppy, but
even then, he's only ahead by 4 CS and has died twice.
Again, we're talking about theory. In practice, just a bad draft,
True.
Kilios.
Very true. Snowflower and Songyun both taken quite low. Wolf coming around the sidelines. Doesn't look like he wants to flash in to try to get this kill, but that's just going to send them packing yet again. We can see Wolf stretching that CS lead, 97 to 143. Looking really strong on the solution. It's just going to take that much longer for Songyun to try to become relevant.
Well, it's 3 losing lanes and a Devourer jungle, so this is sad times for Afreeca.
Very sad times. After that first game that just looked so damn good from them, we thought maybe they were going to pull off the 2-0. And here, Lyra just getting collapsed on by Faker. Rift Herald trying to help out. Lamb's Respite comes down, but to what avail, I do not know. Gets pushed out and stunned into the wall by Duke, and he goes down. Duke finds the kill. Ixu and Snowflower unable to collapse in time, and just like that, SKT say, oh, look at that. There's a Rift Herald here. Let's go ahead and take it.
And there's just such an advantage already for SKT in every lane and in neutrals. Okay, the first dragon, but it was at a heavy cost for Afreeca to steal it away.
Oh, Wolf coming around the side. Ixu getting stunned into the pillar, cleanses it off with the orange, throws out the cannon barrage, but there's not much more you can do. Wolf does take that kill away from the team, but that's about the best you're going to get if you're Afreeca.
The first time in the night, it looks like.
Oh, tries to throw out the root on a Faker, misses everything, and now Mickey flashes into the pit, into the tower. He goes down. And SKT looking like they're going to be able to close this one out pretty quickly.
It's finally looking like SKTelecom T1, the double world champions, against Afreeca Freecs, the young upstarts who have good strategies, but in general do fall against the top sides. Finally, SKTelecom looking like that top side. Okay, they won game 2, but this is the early game from SKT that they have the potential to pull off.
They're going really aggressive. Doesn't have Lamb's Respite.
Well,
and now Songyun coming in. They do root blank, but this is going to be the TP coming in from Duke as they re-engage. Fate's Call should take Snowflower to safety, and it does. Duke throws out the ultimate, boots his Kalista away from the tower, and should be able to take this one down within the next wave.
and this is silly time, Kilios.
This is just, you know what?
This is the competitive version of open mid,
We've already won.
where you don't want to get banned from future OGN events, but Afreeca are just trying things. They're so far behind.
Well, if we learned anything from that KT game earlier this week, it's don't try things.
There are certain things that should just be kept in scrims.
Yeah. Rough stuff from Afreeca. I was really, rooting for them. I was kind of hoping that we'd see the 2-0 and maybe get some more smack talk from Mickey. But it looks like all we're going to get is a dead Snowflower. Actually, maybe a dead Bang. No flashes and dashes away. No heals and dashes away. Flash from Wolf. Wolf keep themselves alive.
The big issue is that Afreeca can't really enter lane in any of the lanes. Gangplank's is going to get turret dive the moment he shows up in top, because he'll have to overextend for farm. Lulu and multiple members just converge on the Lux. Now no flash, no heal. Now no flash, no heal. So easy to take down. And bot lane has been a disaster, keeping it at 50 CS, but no more in terms of disadvantage for Songyun. Just multiple different ways. It's hard viewing for Afreeca fans.
Yeah, I have a very complex question for you, Papa.
All right.
I don't know if you have an answer for this one.
I'm ready for a complex question with possibly no answer. That's exactly what you should send to your co-caster.
How does Afreeca win this game?
Well, the internet connection seems pretty good at Yongsan Esports Stadium, so...
Oh, a lot of damage onto Mickey.
I mean, I'd love to be glass half full, but I'm sorry, the care cup's empty. I got nothing.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Mistakes.
You heard it here.
Mistakes. Okay, SKT have made mistakes in Game 1 and Game 2. It would require a titanic mistake in this game, but when you think about the fact that 5v5, sieging, none of it looks particularly great against the comp that SKT have picked, so a do-over, a bug,
Yeah,
a restart,
We need a game-breaking bug.
and for the rule to be no remake on the draft.
Yeah.
Got to start a new draft, please.
Wolf just going up here to probably out-trade Ixu. Especially
yes.
as Duke arrives.
When the 3 level down support out-trades you.
That's how you know that it's sad times. Had the exhaust and everything. I think he could have won it. Meanwhile, Songyun just trying to get some damage onto this tower. It's like 55, 60%. Just can't even find it. And of course, that mid tower has gone down. Afreeca not able to find a single turret. Just that dragon, the only objective play they've been able to make.
Even that was a steal.
Yeah.
Was just basically looking for something, knew he would give up his life. Smites have been good from Lyra,
Yeah.
but definitely the smallest advantage, the only one in 20 minutes of play.
Yep. Rough stuff.
And now Afreeca, they can't really get to minion waves. They definitely can't get to buffs. Can't really hope to contest anything, really.
SKT just setting up one of the more... Oh, I'm going to hold that thought as Ixu's just getting dove on, flashes away, throws down the barrel. Can he get the pop? Does not even matter. Duke finds the kill. An assist going over to Faker here. Final Spark comes out, doesn't clear out the wave. This tower's going to take a hell of a lot of damage. SKT going to back off, just furthering their lead. And as I was saying, SKT giving us one of the most anticlimactic Game 3s that I think we have seen in the last 2 weeks. Snowflower, nowhere to go, no flash. Fate's Call does Dragon about the safety.
Gotta say, SKT, very consistent in giving underwhelming Game 3s. We remember to Rocks Tigers versus SKTelecom.
Oh, yeah.
Where they decided to yank out the World Championship lineup, throw
Put
in
in Blank and Scout.
Blank and Scout, which was definitely a slightly different thing, especially on the Blank front back then.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be the flash body slam. Blank just kind of locking everybody into that wall. You get a lot of damage, however. Final Spark comes through, doesn't juke it out. He goes down. That's a kill for Ixu. But it's only going to do so much here for Afreeca Freecs. 32.1 thousand to 40.8 thousand.
Definitely a one step forward, one step back series for Blank. It's very
Yeah,
good.
just a little bit.
His pathing's been good. His turret dive timing was great.
Smite's not so much.
No. Mechanics have
Overextension,
been...
not so much.
I mean, it's 3 games of Gragas, and his ults have definitely been up and down as well. Look, he needs to play himself into form. It's a long season. There's still multiple weeks left, but inauspicious debut. Re-debut, I guess, after IM.
Yeah. Just going to have to step it up quickly, you know, not too much time remaining here.
Well, there's no guarantee this is the SKTelecom lineup that makes it to playoffs. Again,
They could
no
put
guarantee
Bengi
they
in.
even make it to playoffs, but they still have Bengi available on the roster. Who knows what he's practicing? Maybe Bengi comes out and is an Italy god. Stranger things have happened.
That's true. Like this draft.
Well,
We've seen stranger drafts as well.
that's true. There was a Pantheon blind pick last week,
Yeah.
Kilios.
Oh, Coco.
But it worked in solo queue.
I forgot that Champions is the equivalent, the professional equivalent. of
I don't know,
solo
that
queue.
game looked a lot like solo queue.
It really did.
The man drop deaths, the 060 Pantheon mid. Don't die on me, Achilles, coughing in the corner.
I'm sorry, this game is just making me sick.
Calm down. Yeah, just unfortunately not too much to say. All Afreeca can do is wave clear. Every time Mickey walks up to a wave and tries to ult, gets dive for it. Speaking of dives.
Oh, yeah, speaking of dives, Lyra getting dove on, gets popped up in the air, but the Lamb's Respite is there. Now Duke, very far in enemy territory, has to flash to safety. Lear almost gets popped by that explosive cast, however. This turns down to about half HP. SKT trying to siege up as best as they can, but there's also a wave crashing on the top side and the bot side, so it looks like Faker is going to rotate over here and start to split push onto this bottom tier 2.
And Faker has so much ability power. He can definitely turret dive people.
Yeah, plus that Lich Bane to just chunk out this tower as well.
Lich Bane and Anilus Large on top of it at 22 minutes into the game.
Yeah. It's just positively filthy, and we are approaching a 10,000 gold lead in favor of SKT. 7 kills up as well. 5 towers. This is just a near shutout here against Afreeca.
And the issue is, we come back to the draft, it's damage versus tankiness and engage, and we already weren't a fan, but the thing about damage is that damage is usually, in the history of League, been able to outpace tankiness. You pay more for tank stats than you do for damage stats. So my worry is that the fact that SKT are picking up snowball tank items before the damage is even built for Afreeca, just, I don't even know what a team fight looks like that they win, as Sungyun's dead.
I think a team fight looks something like that, but with more people around it. Faker finding Sungyun by himself, takes them out with relative ease. The only thing he really had to use is just a wild growth, of course, hanging on to his other summoners for now. Just creating more pressure onto these towers. Third dragon has spawned here, and we can see Blanca's already there to start this one up, and I don't think there's really anything Afreeca can do to try to contest this.
Well, he could just solo it while SKT apply pressure in 3 lanes.
Yep.
That's all of them, just to be clear.
You're right. I never counted them out before. Thank you so much.
You're a play-by-play caster. I wasn't sure if you could count to 3.
Yeah, we're not very smart.
Apologies to play-by-play casters.
Yeah, sorry, Doa. And everybody else. Doa's not the only one. The only other one in the world.
Only other one in Champions.
Yeah.
Monty sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, well, not anymore. Unless I can help it.
Doing a great job of denying the world, Monty.
Not much more you can say about this game. You know what we can talk about, though? Have you seen that? No, you didn't see it, actually. I think we were talking about it a little bit earlier, that new Captain America trailer.
I've heard the big takeaway. Is it a spoiler? I don't even know.
I don't know.
The trailer spoiler.
Yeah.
But some people probably want to know nothing about the movie.
It's true. I guess I should say it.
Prominent superhero.
But if you
in it
want to be surprised and you don't know anything about the movie yet, go look at the trailer.
So what you're saying is it's a sick trailer.
It's a pretty damn good.
Why don't we talk about something that everyone in this cast can enjoy, and that's what Caster Jun talked about last week to us.
Ah, yes, of course.
So I was chomping on some Kokalkon before this particular game, and what we were told is that actually the Kokalkon Champions effect has been observed because they are the main sponsor of Champions this season. They've had a 15% increase in sales, and now they are the most sold snack in Korea.
The most popular snack in all of Korea. I want to know what they were before that figure, though. Not too short. Duke, though, with that TP flank on the side, just completely going to surprise Afreeca Freecs. Lambs for Spike comes down. Mickey just stuck in the middle of all this. Nowhere to go. He falls. Faker finds the kill. Lyra flashes the wall, but to no avail. Bang follows up, and he goes down. So far, it's a 2-for-0. SKT looking like they can do pretty much anything that they want on this map. 10 kills up, over 10,000 gold. And they're just going to go straight back over to this Baron. Afreeca, what do? Do they try to contest? Do they take their first tower in the mid lane?
Well, they don't have Smite.
Oh, there's Wolf. He's going to find Ixu. There is no Smite. The trophy comes down this time. Ixu has to flash the wall. Now it's just Snowflower and Songyun all in their lonesome. We can see these auto attacks barely doing anything. Ixu going to throw out the barrels. Does chunk, almost kills Bang, but to no avail. Faker finds Songyun, takes him down. Snowflower is going to fall as well as he gets stunned into the wall. Double kill from Faker. They stop the Baron, but they don't stop the bleeding.
That was definitely in a different game, a sick quadra kill for Callista, but when everyone has 4,000 health and 3 armor items, apparently it doesn't happen. Anything else to say
Just
there?
the play of the Rune King and the Hurricane, not going to do enough for you on that Callista. So just rough stuff. We'll take another look at this Slaughter.
It's a really nice teleport flank from Duke.
Oh yeah, well-placed ward.
Comes in, puts up the W, no one's getting out. They're going to pick up at least 1 kill here onto Mickey, who is a Lux, so of course will die.
Yep.
They continue with the turret dive, and the thing is that SKT don't need to be clean when they're this far ahead. They just basically throw the knives at the wall, and eventually they'll pick up the kills.
Oh, looks like we got Mickey getting 1v1 by Faker. Trading back and forth. Wild Growth, and the auto attack's going to finish it off. And that's 7-0-7 here from Faker. Trying to net himself that MVP so he can have a little bit of a rebuttal.
Are you ready for an MVP rebuttal interview?
I can't wait. Oh, we got okay. Fast forwarding through some non-action. I guess Trophy comes down to cut off Lyra and the rest of the team as they try to collapse onto this Baron, which is going to fall here. Blank does confirm that one with a smite. Afreeca, no one really nearby to try to take that one. Faker comes in with the TP, cancels it actually. Duke goes in, gets a big pop-up on the Ixu. Down below half HP though. Does have to retreat. Bang as well, taking a hell of a lot of damage on the backside of this fight. But the members of Afreeca are also quite low. Mickey coming up, will have that final spark available, but look at that damage from Faker. Just works right through Ixu. And just like that, SKT are looking to end this game before the 35-minute mark, maybe even the 30-minute mark if they can continue on with this push. Nice dash away by Bang, fades that Lux ultimate, double binding comes across, but it's just no follow-up damage here for Afreeca Freecs, and the base is just crumbling around them.
With so many squishes on the side, Faker's an assassin on this, Lulu.
Yes, he is, landing those glitter lances, takes out Snowflower. Lyra with the lamps for spike gets down, gets that heal. Just jump away. Blank taking a lot of stacks there from Songyun. We can see he doesn't even get through that shield that Faker threw on him. Just like that, inhibitor gone and Baron taken by SKT.
Faker, Death Cap, Lich Bane, Void Staff, Frost Queen's Claim. He goes back and buys a Rod of Ages at 29 minutes, because why not? Time to start stacking, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, God, I hope that doesn't mean this game is going to go on for 10 more minutes, but you never know, I suppose. Faker just saying,
it's not a Mana Magi's, it's a Mana Rod of Ages. So you know what happens? So the funny thing is, back in the day, you'd see people build a Magi's just because they're winning and they think the game's over. And they'd be like, oh, I had 1,400 gold. So maybe Faker was like, oh, I have 3,000 odd gold. Guess I'll build a Rod of Ages.
I'm already unkillable. Let me
double
down on that.
What's the funnest item I can build with my gold?
I would have liked I don't know.
A Stinger?
Yeah.
Nashor's Tooth?
Yeah, give me a Nashor's Tooth.
Whalers built that unironically for LGD. They lost.
LGD lost?
Yep.
Wow, that's surprising.
Things that we thought would not be said unironically a year ago.
Sorry, Marin.
Well, his old teammates are going to win the series.
It does look that way. And we can see just juking around this tower. Faker doesn't give a good golly damn. Throws the shield on himself. Mickey gets popped out and gets blown up. Bang, finding the kill. Blank taking a bit of damage here. Wolf as well. They're going to have to back off of this a little ways as Lyra is throwing down a decent amount of damage. But, yeah, I think this is wow. Ixu goes down. This is going to be the game. Duke just taking up both of these towers, just now getting down to half HP. First Nexus tower falls. Faker keeping everybody completely stuck inside the fountain. Wild goes onto himself. Songyun gonna go down. There's the kill. Let's see if he can follow up with two more. Lamps for Spike comes through to keep Snowflower and Lyra alive. Nexus falls, and just like that, SKT with a very crushing game 3. Taking out Afreeca Freecs, so no upset coming out of this one. And SKT are now going to be,
pushing up the standings.
Pretty strong here.
Look, they're making up some of their games. Remember, they've played less games than most of their opponents. They're going to push up towards the 5th place spot. 3 games of Faker Lulu, 3 games of Gragas from Blank. This was the carry game from Faker. And this was a return to form from SKT in Champions. Okay, they won IEM, but they haven't looked like a top team in Champions since they dismantled KT a month ago.
Yeah.
This is finally a welcome return to form, and if this is the SKTelecom from Game 3 that we see going forward, they are definitely still a threat for the playoffs.
Absolutely. We do, of course, have to see how they perform against a team of higher caliber. I believe we have that matchup coming next week against the Rocks Tigers, so that'll be a very interesting matchup to check out when that one rolls around.
The only thing we know about SKT right now is that we can never assume anything. This is a new lineup. We thought plug in Duke, the MVP from Stream 2015, nothing will change. A lot has changed. They have struggled at times. They struggled, except they lost a game in this series. They struggled at times in Game 2. SKT are rewriting their narrative for 2016. It took till March, but they're looking better.
Yep. And surprising enough, that was actually Songyun only doing about 1,000 damage less than Bang in that last game, but the members from SKT just so tanky that you just couldn't even tell that he was even outputting that much damage. Faker, though, absolutely destroying and doubling pretty much anybody else on his team with 30,000 damage. Next closest was Ixu, just below 20.
Congrats to SKT. Welcome first win in 3 for SKTelecom.
Yep, first win on 6.4 as well, so we'll see how they're going to develop moving forward on this patch. But we'll see when we come back. We're going to have an interview with our MVP. We'll see who it is.